Hey, welcome to a new sketchbook tour. This has been my sketchbook and I finished it real quickly, 8th of April to the 11th of June. And then I put it aside for me to film a sketchbook flip through, and then I lost it and then I found it, so now we can flip through it. So this is a Fabriano Classico Landscape A4. It has 25 sheets. It's 300 GSM hot press paper, and I believe it is 50% cotton. Originally it only has like a paper cover, but what I did, I just cut down chipboard with some paper on top of it, so it turned into more like a sturdy book. I made this. I like to make these when I have ring bound journal or books, just because I like the A4 or landscape format, but when you're actually working on it, it turns massive, and the good thing about the ring bound is you can easily do that, but then you read on the other side. So what I do is I just take some nice paper, laminate it, cut holes, and then I can easily put that through, tear it out, and that protects the other side. That was my journal. I finished it real quick, for being me anyway, and I think part of it is I just didn't like it. Which is either I try to like sort of speed run through, or I sort of put it aside, and this time I was like, okay, just get it done, just go through it sort of. Now, the little sticker here you can find in the shop is a Swedish dollar horse, and then just some nice pattern paper. And then on the inside I just put when I started and ended it. And here what I really like to do when I ordered something online, especially art supplies, is I like to document it, and I like to just draw it in whatever journal I'm working with. And at this time I started a new one, so I just painted the things in. So I ordered some brushes, some KD paper, this journal, some other brushes, and then I just try them out here. Here is the first like proper page, I suppose. At the beginning of April I watched Ghost, the TV show from 2019. I believe there is a different Ghost from like 2021 or something, but I watched the 19 version and I just loved it so much. It was so funny. So I just had to do like the characters, and then I found an image of the sort of the house where they had the location, so I just had to draw that. I think I realized even on the first page that I did not like the paper. Like, hot press paper is just not my thing. Now when I actually finished it, I do appreciate the paper. The paper in and of itself is really good. I just don't like hot press paper, and I should have been more careful looking at the listing when I bought it, that it said hot press. Here, what I like to do with these sort of draw it in your style thing is I actually like to put a bunch of them in a Photoshop file and then print them out on sticker paper and sort of stick it into whatever page I'm working on. Sometimes I like to do it like, you know, to go the whole thing, do the full drawing, and sometimes I just do the sketches, but it's sort of fun. You have like the original image and then who has actually made it, and then I just put the date. So this was really fun. I also used one of my own paint, Lucia, just to add a little of shimmer on her head. This day I decided I just wanted to do a lot of Maine Coons, and here I used Ella for this sort of blue-green shimmery behind the cats. I just felt it looked so nice with these orange cats. Maine Coon, I mean, they just look really odd, like, honestly. And I was like, they look so odd, but they do look kind of similar to the photos. So I'm like, okay. They just look so odd anyway. So here is one day I was just, because I didn't felt precious about this book, I felt very much like I could just test things out, and I think that's one of the reasons I finished this so quickly, because I actually used it. Sometimes when I have journals where I just really like it, I feel precious about it, and I feel like I need to sort of make myself worthy of the page. And here I just like, I did whatever, and I had a lot of fun. Here I had sat down one evening with my palette. Just sat down with my palette with shimmer paints. I hardly sit down and like actually just paint with my own paints, because that is, for me, that is more work. But this time I'm just going to have fun. I make these shimmery paints because for me that is just joy. That is joy to make, joy to paint with. So I was like, I'm just going to have fun. So I made a bunch of florals, just whatever. And then I was like, I wonder how it would look with a dark background. So I used the Turner acrylic gouache. I like it in a certain light. It looks like really, really black velvet, and I love that, but I just could not get it smooth. And you can see it in certain light that it doesn't look right, and I cannot get the acrylic gouache to look good. But that was just a test, and it doesn't really matter. It's a sketchbook. I had fun with the metallic florals, and I really like how it looks with these sort of velvety, but it's not something I would hang on the wall, which is perfect to have it in a sketchbook. Here I used just some gouache, just for fun. Then we are entering into my boat obsession. So here I searched up old, like proper sailboats, and then I just put some glue pen and then used some gold holographic for the sails, just for fun, because I like it when it's shiny. Yeah, and then here and used some gouache sticks, and then just acrylic markers. Here I think I used some watercolor just in the background, gouache sticks, and then some acrylic paint markers to doing like all of the lines and stuff, and the little seagulls, and some of them I even tried to add in little feet, and I just love that. I think they're so fun. They have so much character. I try to be really loose with them, and I love that result. And then one more with just a lot of different sailboats. Here I just sat down one day with some crayons, doodling some cats. I think I looked up like illustrated cats or cat illustrations, something like that, just to get some different shapes. And I had a lot of fun. But like I said, again, if this would have been like a good paper, or paper that I would enjoy doing watercolor on, I would never have done like this kind of stuff, because I would have been too precious for this. But now I just felt like it doesn't matter if I use crayon on this paper. Here is something I used to do a lot more before, and I had so much fun doing this. So when I was a school teacher, I used to print out a lot of just photos of Google, you know, animal photos, and then I would haul out like a whole deck of them for the kids, and they were allowed to like draw 2 of them and then sort of try to mush the animal together. And yeah, here I just have animals with horns and horses, and then like doing like sort of a unicorn thing, and I was going to do like unicorn, but I've only did this one 1st of May, so it wasn't even in June. But I had a lot of fun making this, and like just looking up the different reference animals and the horses, and doing all of these little doodles. And then I used my own watercolors to paint it, and that was really fun. Like I said, I hardly ever use my own paints just for fun, because I feel like it's work and I'm sitting and analyzing everything too much. But I had a really good time working with my own stuff here. Some more cats here. I think actually this page took like, I don't know how many days. One day I did 1 cat, and then I came back 2 or 3 days after, and I think my goal was to fill up the page with different cats. I had got these stamps that I thought was really cute, so I just glued them in there. But in the end I was like, I just need to move on and do something. So here I did, it's a really old illustration from one of the first editions of Sense and Sensibility, just in ink, and I tried to copy it, sort of, you know. I can't copy to save my life, so yeah. But I had a lot of fun just doing sort of my own take on it, and I think I would like to do more of that. Yeah, I know I did something else on this page, and this gouache stick thing was just to sort of cover it up. I can't remember actually what was behind it, but it had to be very bad if I wanted to cover it up. Here I started to do sort of like a draw my day, or a little bit of a diary journal illustration a day kind of thing. So it was Wednesday, 18th of May. I did some of the violets that we have growing here, and I had done some swatches of a paint that I was experimenting with. I was listening a lot to Emily D. Baker from YouTube. This had to be in the Johnny Depp versus Amber Heard thing, and she streamed like every day, and I had her on like pretty much every day. And I also downloaded Duolingo again to take up my French and Dutch. My Dutch is still not good, but my French is coming along quite nicely, so I'm really happy with that. 19, let's see, I photographed the products for June. We had some tulips blooming in front of the studio. I really needed the tents that day apparently. I picked up Arvid. We went through the car wash with my car, and apparently my hand was really shaky. Here we have a little project just for fun. I did these circles and then I filled it out with animals that have double Latin names. I just find that kind of fun. If you know any Latin names, I guess it's easier to start with the repeating ones. The 20th of May, I got the Neo colors. I love them so much. So I just had to do it with the Neo colors, filming, cleaning the studio, Duolingo. Here I try to do with the Neo colors and then just use a dark wash on top of it. And I really like it. I like, of course, how the white is showing through. Saturday, I tried to do the view outside my window, but I just didn't like it. So what I did was I drew the little raindrops to sort of show that it was raining. The cows were delivered, the cows that go here and graze in the summer. I changed out the knobs on my dresser. The 22nd, did some French and some Dutch, packaged some orders, my breakfast and my medication. Albert, he was very sleepy. Monday, I got the foil quill and I tried it on paper. It did not work very well. Some color swatches. Here I did just a house. I found a pretty house on Instagram and I used the Daler-Rowney acrylic ink in yellow ochre with a dip pen, and then I went over with watercolor, and I just love that. It has a slight resist that yellow. I just really like that much, and that's the Dorothea, the color that I've made on that same day. I just needed to experiment it with as a base sort of, and I really like it. Tuesday, a lot of work. Wednesday, a lot of work and more work and strawberries. I just really like swans, and I found some nice images. Again, some Neo colors, and then this sort of bluey green one is a color I've been working on. Friday, I had job interview. I did some Duolingo, Dutch and French, Albert, and then yeah, they called me like just a few hours later to tell me that I got a job. And then here is some just trying to work out what colors I want to have. So that is that. And like I said, again, this is not something I would have done in my sketchbook because I felt like this is just, you know, wasting paper. But now looking back at it, I'm really happy that I have it because I can see what I was thinking in that moment. And I think that's the beauty of having like a proper sketchbook, like where you have everything in it. And I'm really happy that I have like these sort of what I did each day. I have like a more proper kind of illustration, and then just some pen and pencil sketches, and then just swatches. I'm just really happy about this sketchbook, even though I started out not liking the paper of it. But as sort of like a mixed media, just throwing everything at it, it's perfect. Again, draw this in your style. Saturday, I did a lot of different tests of new colors. Here, I have had this idea for such a long time. So a lot of the flowers in Sweden have really odd names if you think about what they mean, like literally. Daisy flowers in Swedish is actually called a priest color, and I thought it would be really fun to make like a priest and then like the flower is his actual color. Dandelions is actually called worm rose. So I did like a worm coming up and then the flower being his sort of rose or his hat. And aconitum, you know, I'm a big fan. I actually have this swatch right here, aconitum, as in that I have in my Agatha apothecary set, is actually, one of the names in Sweden is storm hat. So I made like an old man out in the wind and then he's trying to hold out that flower as a hat. And I had so much fun with these. And I have a few more that I'm thinking about making later maybe. Sunday, it was Mother's Day here in Sweden. Some computer work. I repotted a few of my plants. I packaged some orders. Albert, he had a lot of fun. I went to pick up burgers from Elsa's, which is like the most delicious burgers. They have like a trailer outside one of the shops and it's just so good. I was sitting outside painting. Well, I was actually painting these, but Albert, he wished I would paint that, I can promise you. Again, this is an image that I found on Instagram and I just loved it, and I was like, I started to do it with a fountain pen that I have ochre ink in it, and I love that. And then I had this green underneath, so I just used the ochre and then a black ink on top of this green thing, and I really love how it looks and how few materials I actually used to get this thing. And it's one of those things, if I were to sit down and plan it, well, maybe it would have gone well, but I would not have received this result, and I'm really happy that I just went with it. This page I actually made for like a video just to show the stuff that was coming in June. And here I'm playing around with some colors that I've been working on. So none of these are set in stone, but I just wanted to see like how they would work together as a potentially new set. I saw this on Instagram. Somebody had done like really loose pigeons, so I wanted to do that too. And then another inspiration from Instagram. I really like those two that she had, so I just put those together. Doing this I did with Neo colors and with watercolor and maybe some pencil, but I have not had this much fun painting in a really long time. Like sitting and working on this was like the most fun I had had in such a long time. So even though I'm not completely happy with it, there's a few things that I would like to change, but just knowing how much fun I had doing this is worth everything. And that inspired this. So I'm actually working on a bigger acrylic canvas right now, and I decided to change it so I could get this sort of element, and the inspiration was mostly like this picnic canvas. Really like how that lifts in the green. Some random shares, I don't know. Another draw this in your style. I was doing this while talking to Jem, so I wasn't completely focused on what I was doing. We just sat down, had a chat over the computer. It was really fun, and just have something to doodle. Here some flowers. I just took some Prismacolors and yeah, some florals. And the last thing I did was with gouache crayons or gouache sticks, and did some lemon. That is my finished sketchbook for the late spring, early summer of 2022, and I really love it. I think I got a lot of ideas from this book, even though, like I said in the beginning, I just did not like it for what I thought it was going to be. I'm not sure if I would buy it again. I think I would really like to try the cold press if I can get my hand on it. So, but I have had so much fun experimenting in this one. I don't have a lot of like finished pretty pieces, but I had a lot of fun, and I felt like I felt very free to express and explore and really just try things out. And I love these pages, even though they don't look as pretty. These sort of daily sort of journal book entry pages, I just love them going back, and I was like, oh yeah, I was doing that. And it also meant that the days when I didn't feel creative, when I didn't feel like I had the time to spend and sit down, I could just do a very, very quick little computer or something and then quickly write. And I felt like I had been creative, even though it's a very small thing. So here, like, I just did half, so I could split it. Some days I felt like I wanted to do more, and I just really like it. So in the end, I'm really happy with my sketchbook that I did here and the pieces that I have, and it's something that now when I look back at it, I feel like I'm feeling happy with it, and something that I can go back and get inspiration for new pieces. And that's what means the most to me anyway, to be able to document where I'm at artistically, but also being able to come back and pull out inspiration for my next project. So that is it. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have enjoyed it. Have a great day.